Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is not the sideshow. This is not the undercard. This is the main event.
Let's get ready to rumble! Let's go!
Oh, my name is Ryan Baldwin, joined as always by my right-hand man sitting at my left-hand side, Mason Shepard.
You know what the deal is.
And today we have two special guests, special in every sense of the word, to join us on our podcast. We have co-Sports Zone analysts and sports lovers, Jeremiah Russo and Jose Moreno.
What up, what up?
How's it going?
Oh my God, we have a full house.
This is going to be fun. Get ready.
I don't think Ryan was ready for this.
I was not, no, I
Ryan made a mistake.
we had our groove, and now we've thrown off the Emperor's groove, and
Hey,
now
man.
it's all...
Hey, technically, you can't throw off the Emperor.
Wow. That's a
Mark,
little too early for that one.
mark that for cut.
Why'd you bring that, Mason? I didn't want to talk about wrestling in the first place, and now you bring Jose and Jeremiah. This is a sports show, not an entertainment show.
Oh my God.
It's an honor to be
He's
here.
ready to walk out.
Yeah,
Some
we
of
got.
Mason
You're
got to take
telling me
over.
I got an hour of this at least. Jeez. Okay.
Get ready.
I'm so welcome to be here. I'm so happy to be here. Glad that I'm here, y'all. I missed y'all so much. How was y'all's Christmas?
I know. It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
It's been real, guys.
Folks, Ryan knows all of us. He works with us on Sports Zone anyway. So
Yeah, I have to deal with y'all talking about steel oats and.
That was the best segment, though. The steel oats.
It was Steel Oats, and then this guy,
No, that was
the
me.
number 2 pencil
Oh yeah, calling our quarterback a number 2
that
pencil.
you find in your desk
and
that
then-
you forgot.
Oh
that you
man, I gotta show you guys a meme though, because the camera, whenever he was talking, the camera was still on me, and I didn't know what to do. So literally, you just hear him talking. I'm just like, man. I'm just,
You know
hands
what's
down.
funny is actually, what's his name? Ani, I met him.
No, you
Did you
didn't.
tell him that you
Did
called him
he
a
know
number 2
you?
pencil?
No, so I was, so again, I work as a cameraman for UNT, and I was like, at the last game of the season, UTSA versus UNT, the greatest game of all time.
Through the rain
They
and
had
cold
me,
and-
that was the worst game to film, too. I was on the field. So I'm
Says
on the
best
field.
game ever, but worst
No,
game
no,
to
it's the
film.
worst. It was a fun game to watch because we beat UTSA. They're undefeated. Big win for us. But at the same time, it was cold. It was like 30 degrees and it was raining. And I hate rain. I hate cold rain. It's the worst. So I'm on the field and they say, okay, Jose, you're going to be cameraman during the opening segments of the senior day. Okay, great. Who's a senior? Austin Ani. Dang it. So I have to go introduce myself to Austin Ani.
I hope you didn't watch Sports Zone that day.
And I'm glad he doesn't because I was like, hi, Austin Ani, I'm Jose. I'm here to take some footage of you. He's like, oh, great, man. He's a really nice guy, actually.
I would be shocked if half these guys even know that Sports Zone exists.
Oh, yeah,
so
no,
I
for
wouldn't
sure.
worry about it too much.
So what you're saying is we're free to bury him.
No, I didn't say that.
Isn't he gone? I think he's gone now.
No.
He graduated. He's gone.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
done.
Long
so.
gone.
Now it's the next.
No,
we gotta
and
trash.
the thing is, some players do know about Sports Zone. Because Grayson Thompson, my my inside source, he told me that yes, sometimes they would watch Sports Zone and they would get pissed when he would like talk mess. Like it was bad.
Did
I
you tell him to
mean-
get good?
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
I told Grayson, I love you. I'm always gonna praise you, but your team, man, you got. You
Hey
know,
man, we talk of what we get, man. You got to give us the content.
Yeah,
if
you
you're
gotta
getting
give us
blown
the
out,
proper-
we
Really, they
can't
should be
praise.
thanking us because if they ever want to go pro, they're
Right?
going to have to deal with people
Yeah.
trash talking.
We're
them all
training
the
them.
time.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
so
Maybe
I think-
he
I
did
think-
it too.
I think what hurts is like that I can speak from experience when you're a sports fan, but you're also a wrestling fan, which is a sport in my opinion. Wrestling
We're gonna have
fans
this
critique
conversation.
everything and we bury
yeah.
people, so it's hard not to be okay. Like this guy sucks, and then you have to remember, oh wait,
Yeah, this
he
isn't
knows what's
fake.
going
Yeah, I
on.
like.
this isn't fake. You know, this guy's not getting booked to lose.
Yeah, they're not getting booked to get beat.
That is a D1 athlete still. That guy could come in here, tear me a new one, and then leave, and I'd be like, yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And then you have the honor of being tore a new one by
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
from the
yeah.
professional
D1
now.
So, since we're on the topic of trashing people, let's just
Yes.
go right into the Bengals and Chiefs because that was the biggest collapse of a football team since the 28-3 Super Bowl. Atlanta Hawks, Falcons, not Hawks. Atlanta
It doesn't
Falcons
matter.
dropped the Atlanta Chokers dropping
Atlanta
to
Choker.
the New England Patriots. That was just awful.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
other word.
You
That
know-
was just awful.
You know what? That's karma for what they did to the Texans. You know, like when they came back against the Texans when they were 24 up, and I was like, it's so funny. I watched that game right when I saw they were 24 up. I'm like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, go Deshaun, yeah, go Deshaun. And then they make the comeback. I cry, you know, because I was a Deshaun Watson fanboy, and I'm like, one day this is gonna happen to them. And it did, and I'm so happy it was the Bengals of all teams.
But you know what? I'm glad that it did not. You know, they won the coin toss again. I was like, are you for real? We're going to have another Bills versus Chiefs things where whoever's the play of the game
Yeah.
is the coin.
dude, Patrick.
But no, yeah.
No, sorry.
No. But I'm saying props to the Bengals right now.
Exactly. I mean,
to come back from that against Patrick Mahomes, who's been stomping through people recently. I mean, you got to give it to Joe Burrow, man.
I looked at the stats. The team that had won the coin toss going into last night in the playoff games had won 10 out of 11 times.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then Mahomes made it. Let's go 10 out of 12. It'll be fine.
It was the whoever, I forgot his wife's name, Brittany Matthews or whatever, and in the Jackson Mahomes curse, man.
she freaks me out, like her face.
They're probably like the most hated family
so
in the
weird.
NFL.
I don't know. I
Like,
think the Jones family is up there too.
no, the Jones family are like the Trump family of football. You know?
Yeah, I have to
you
get-
gotta
I-
remember.
How many people hated Trump?
Yeah, a lot
Hold on a
of people. You know what I'm saying? Like you either love Jerry Jones, you're like Jerry Jones, there's nothing wrong, or you're like the guys from Arlington, you know, whose taxes went up because of AT&T Stadium, and you know you're getting gentrified. You don't think of Jerry Jones as a fun football guy. You think of this guy that's raising your rent and ruining your house.
Yeah.
You know. But Brittany Matthews, what a freaky face. I mean, I'm sorry. She just looks like she'd be like the family in Get Out. I just feel like Patrick Mahomes is in a Get Out situation where she's like,
Stop
you know,
looking. Ryan,
I'm sorry,
stop looking
man.
at me.
White woman from Lubbock? I can't trust that, you know?
Ryan, stop looking.
He got nothing,
I'm
man.
not responsible for this.
That's why Patrick lost. Brittany Matthews was there, bro.
I told
Did you watch her Instagram stories? She wasn't even watching the game. She was doing dances in the stands like, oh, go
Hey,
Patrick!
I think Patrick secretly knew that he spared us to watch Jackson Mahomes freaking do TikToks for halftime show.
I think
we got spared.
I
I'll
think
live with
Patrick
that.
saved us from the most boring Super Bowl in history. It was gonna be what, Niners and not Niners.
Niners, yeah,
that was
Niners.
Niners one. That would have been funny. No, it was gonna be like what, Rams and Chiefs. It's like 3 years too late, you know. Like I would have wanted that in 2018. That would have been dope. Like when like they had Jared Goff and Todd Gurley, the Rams, and
There's a
and
reason
the-
why
and the
Jared Goff
Chiefs
got
had
traded,
Kareem
and now
Hunt.
Yeah.
Stafford has led these guys to a
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
But like I'm more happy to see Stafford against Burrow. You know, Burrow's
Yeah,
doing
me
the
too.
one thing that Stafford never got to do in his second season. You know, and so it's like, man, the Bengals suck and the Lions suck, but I mean, like the Lions suck even more. So it's kind of like a weird like passing the torch moment if Burrow wins, you know, or if Stafford wins, it could be just there's a bigger storyline there.
I'm just
than anything
saying,
else.
Joe Burrow is that guy, even from day one, man.
Yeah,
He's
I
been
mean-
that guy.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I think more so what we're seeing here is kind of when I watched that game, I said and the Bengals won. I said for one, well, I was like, well, Dak just lost comeback player of the year. That's one. Two, I think what we're gonna see with Joe Burrow is the same thing happened with Mahomes. We're gonna start seeing those. Is this the next Brady comparison? Which I hate, but Burrow is incredible, and to get the Bengals from the joke to like these guys have a chance to win a ring. And again, I like what you said, Jose, where you're talking about Stafford versus Burrow, a guy who everybody could agree had talent coming out of college, and then he got put on a bad team, and it's just like, well, maybe this guy does suck, and now he's on a team where he has pieces around him, and it's like, well, this guy can actually play. We've seen that now. And then you've got this young kid who is like setting the game on fire. But I think the bigger picture here is like, we finally have a Super Bowl that won't put people to sleep.
No, exactly.
Because that Rams Super Bowl where they played the Eagles, the Patriots put me to sleep.
But
it was
like,
horrible.
what's more amazing about this is like, you know, you talk about the Brady comparison, but you know, Brady's not going to be in this league anymore. You know, if the rumor happens that he does retire,
Yeah.
because I've come up with this theory, and it's called the Brady standard, right?
Yeah.
Every young up and coming quarterback will always get compared to Tom Brady. Oh, he's the next GOAT, and then they'll play Tom Brady in the playoffs, and they'll crap the bed, and they'll never recover. It's happened to every team that has played Tom Brady in the playoffs. Every team that beats Tom Brady multiple times. Look at the Eagles. What happened to the Eagles after they won the Super Bowl? They collapsed.
Yeah.
Both times. When the Rams played them in the Super Bowl, they collapsed after they lost. Every time you lose to Brady in the playoffs, it's a curse. You go off and you just ruin your career. I mean, it's just a creepy thing that I've really noticed. So I'm just kind of glad that Burrow isn't, being compared to Brady, because I'm gonna say it. I think we were looking at the wrong greatest quarterback prospect of all time in Trevor Lawrence. That guy sucks. I think the real greatest quarterback prospect of all time was Joe freaking Burrow. I mean, this guy's got championship in his blood. He won a natty in his first ever attempt.
Yeah.
He literally revolutionized an offense and gave Ed O, who I'm sorry was kind of a mediocre quarterback, kept his job. Like, he saved his job. He made everyone on that team become like bigger than they really were, like coaching wise, playing wise, everyone. Joe Burrow was it sucks that Ohio State mishandled him awfully, right?
Yeah.
But that guy's wow. Like the Bengals, the team that hasn't been in the Super Bowl since 1988, are now in the Super Bowl because of Joe Burrow. That's it. That's our next guy.
I think to your point, a lot of people overlooked it last season because he was running around like a chicken with his head cut off because he had no weapons and he had no line. Now, he still doesn't have a line, but at least he has weapons to get it out to.
Yep.
And then he got hurt 5-6 games in, so he missed like half the season.
Yeah.
So this is still that's the other
I think he
impressive
missed
thing.
the rest of that
Yeah,
season.
this
He only
is
played
basically
5 games. Yeah.
He's still basically a rookie.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like rookie
He's
and
what
a
you
half.
call like the redshirt rookie.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like a
or
rookie and a
redshirt
half,
freshman
and
year.
he's sitting here taking the Bengals to the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and just sometimes just like willing his team to victory.
Exactly.
Like
yeah.
you get sacked 9 times, and I mean I think that one was more Tannehill than Burrow, but he still had him in a position to win. And then to be down 21-3, and then just take your team with your own 2 hands, put them on your back, and then escort them to a Super Bowl.
But let's also
It's-
not discount, the defense here.
The defense
and
played
let's
well,
not discount, Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor is one of the most underrated coaches in the league. I
Yeah.
mean, again, I put all my faith in young coaches because they know the game, how it's gonna turn into.
Yeah.
Older coaches are kind of like, look at Bill. Like Bill Belichick, for like a week, the Patriots were the best team in the NFL, right? For a
Yeah.
week, and then Bill kind of has out of touch. Like. I'm gonna say like Zach Taylor, Sean McAvay. That's a cool Super Bowl coach matchup. I think they worked together at one point. So that's again. I'm just saying. I don't know for sure. But no, it's really dope to kind of just see that like these 2 young coaches in the Super Bowl. And I think this is now like because I watch this YouTuber that he kind of angers me, but he says like getting a young coach is like just chasing a trend. But like that's the new future. Like getting a coach that like instead of being a former football player, has instead studied every aspect of the game and is trying to find a way to revolutionize it. It's kind of like how movie directors nowadays, they take old ideas and they just repurpose them into something new, and like it comes out with a really dope movie. And that's why the offenses we're seeing nowadays are just genius because they're kind of basing off of Zach Taylor's offense. They're basing it off of like Sean McAvay's offense because Burrow is perfect for that offense for him. So like let's give it to Zach Taylor, y'all. Like let's not discount him,
And let's not forget the unsung hero, Mr. Automatic himself, Evan McPherson.
Oh, yeah.
He's true rookie, and he comes on and he does not miss.
Nope.
And my favorite clip was last week when they got him in field goal position, and he goes to the bench. He's like, "Looks like we're going to the AFC Championship game," and then goes on and kicks
And then
it.
afterwards, they were like, "That's why you draft a kicker first round, guys."
Just like that. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is some confidence."
I mean, yeah, I think, we're talking about Brady, and then like the next to him, we may be seeing the next Justin Tucker there. I don't know. Because that guy, and it's ironic they're wearing the same number, but that guy, I wish Greg Zuerlein could take notes from this kid. It's just like that confidence in yourself and being able to go out there. And I think I have to give Ryan credit for this, and I'm going to regret it, but I have to. One of the main things that Ryan said about Cincinnati, which is why they are where they are now, is that they were confident that they would be able to beat anybody at any given time, and that never wavered. Because we were all used to Cincinnati with the pumpkin spice, latte kid Andy Dalton, and then they had Carson Palmer. But with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon and all this talent, I think it's one of those things where they finally felt like they could do something, so they actually went out and did it.
Well, yeah, but Carson Palmer was a great quarterback. He just got it. He's the Tony Romo of the AFC. You know what I'm saying?
That I'll give you that 100%.
Like Palmer was a great quarterback for Cincinnati. It's just that Cincinnati, for the longest time, Cincinnati's been known as the Bungles. You know what I'm saying? Like they bungle everything up. They finally, and we all thought that was gonna happen with Burrow. Like he tore his ACL first season. Crap. Okay, now he's gonna ruin his career because he's playing with Cincinnati. Look at what they did with the careers of Ocho Cinco, Carson Palmer. Andy Dalton even. Andy Dalton was a dope quarterback for a couple seasons. And I do agree, like, Burrow has this swagger that no quarterback in the league has nor will probably ever have.
No.
He is the new age Boz, you know, but he's not a bust. He
Very
is. I mean, I think in a way, Burrow is like the dream quarterback to have as a marketing major, or like as a marketing company, because he has this Joe Cool swagger to him, you know. And again, it's just how cocky he is. That guy, dude. I mean, wow. He just has a mindset, and I think that mindset that he brings, because you know your quarterback is your leader, right? If your quarterback is a little bleep, no one's gonna want to listen to him. No one's gonna want to be behind him. You know, that's why like Matthew Stafford kind of had a hard time in Detroit because he hated being in Detroit. He just never wanted to admit it, and that mindset kind of escalates to everyone. You know, it's like the quarterback's mindset is the most important mindset to really keep in. Because your quarterback's defeated, your team is defeated.
That's true, yeah.
You know?
And I think one of the biggest things about that is like with Joe Burrow, I agree with what you said. More than likely, internally, this guy's very cocky and confident in his abilities, but you don't see that come out of him. You know, he's calm and he's cool, but you don't see that. That's the problem with guys like Baker Mayfield, who they're outwardly, I'm great and blah, and we see what he's doing right now. Which is making whatever the commercials he's making right now. Who
Joe
cares?
Burrow is the hook of
that dude. I'm not gonna lie, that's exactly what I was thinking. That is exactly what I was
He's
thinking.
the hook, man. He's emotionless.
Ryan, you'll understand that reference later in the program.
All right, so
wrestling.
AFC locked in, Bengals. NFC, I don't think anybody saw it kind of ending up this way, but looking at it afterwards, there's no other way it could have ended other than Jimmy Garoppolo throwing a pick to.
No, it was great. I actually didn't watch the game because I didn't want to. I was like, I'm not gonna sit down and watch the Niners because it's gonna be a boring defensive game. I'm not I had people over. I'm not gonna subject them to that torture. So I put in the fourth quarter at the 6-minute mark when I get a little ESPN notification that says, "Oh, it's tied." I'm like, you know what? This is gonna be a good game. And the girl next to me, her dad's like a diehard Niners fan. She's FaceTiming him, right? And I'm like, you know what? I want to see Stafford go to the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna start rooting for the Rams, right? When Jimmy G came out, I go, this guy's gonna throw a pick. And right when he did, I screamed and I grabbed the phone and I was like, ah! You have Jimmy G as your quarterback. You can't do anything about it.
This dude's a menace. Just making this grown man probably
that
cry
man
after
was
that interception.
That man was 41 years old, crying. He's like, you don't even know. We'll be back next year. Who that? Come on, Niners. Let's go, Niners faithful. And I'm over there like,
Hey, I've said it to the beginning. I've called the Rams and going all the way. Ever since they dismantled my Bears, gotta bear down.
That was a big accomplishment.
No, but they looked like already
dude, I can't believe they beat the worst team in the NFL. I think they're gonna win the Super Bowl.
They're not even the worst team, man. Or else we would have been #1 pick.
They're
But
not the
bottom line, I knew the Rams had something special whenever they brought Stafford over. And then when they started bringing all of these pieces,
when they formed the Avengers.
Pretty much,
when they formed the Avengers, we got the 2010s Dream Team. You have Von Miller, Odell Beckham, Matthew Stafford. Everyone on that team is 30 years old.
The problem is they're bringing all these guys over, and then their future is going to be screwed.
Well, you have to win this year,
exactly.
because you've given away all your capital.
Look at the Bucks. The Bucks don't have any cap space anymore. They now have to explode their whole organization. That's why Tommy's
retiring.
Neither does the Cowboys, but that's a whole nother thing.
How mad must Cleveland be to know that when Beckham was still there, he told Von, "Don't come over here, because this is how mad you have to be like." Man, we could have gotten Von Miller, and he's like, well, now we don't. We're losers.
It's because look at Cleveland. Cleveland, that defense is amazing. That's one of the best defenses in the league. Myles Garrett is a star, you know?
Yeah, he's a star.
And so,
especially
Von
him
Miller,
with his helmet powers, with his, yeah, I'm pretty good, guys.
My helmet powers.
The reason Von left the Broncos is because we're like, hey, Von, you're 33, and we're about to rebuild.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
Let's not waste your career anymore. Let's send you somewhere.
Yeah, let's just send you to the Super Bowl, guys.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Let's send you to the Super Bowl again.
Let's just go to which one do you want to go to, Von? You can win a free Super Bowl,
Jalen Ramsey
right?
from the Jaguars.
And, I think the LA pick was perfect for him because that guy can go into acting now. You know,
you got just a nice direct line right to Hollywood.
I mean, that's what every player does when they go to LA. They usually end up doing movies. You know, that's probably what Von Miller's doing. He has a household name. He's a good-looking guy.
The Real Housewives of the LA Rams.
Yeah, dude. I pay to see that. You know what? I want to see Matthew Stafford's wife.
Stunning, but we'll continue.
Stunning wife. She is pretty. Prettier than Brittany. That's so mean. I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
The real house
Brittany Matthew's
players.
personality is so awful to me. I hate her as a person. So like my brain's like.
Do you
she's
just hate
awful.
every like quarterback's wife? Is
No,
that what
I
is?
love Giselle. Giselle's amazing. Come to Brazil, Giselle. I love Giselle. No, Giselle's great. Listen, she's Latina, dude. I have to support her.
Okay.
Tony Romo's wife is awesome.
And here we go.
She's
Well,
a
who else? Who else? Give us your top five.
Top five.
quarterback
Top
wives.
five
I want to
wives.
hear this.
The Mount Rushmore of quarterback wives.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, that'd be 4.
Okay,
not
number 5.
but-
Number 5, Nicole Brown.
Okay.
Bruh.
I mean, we all have a taste, I guess.
Number 5, Nicole Brown. Number 4, Nicole Brown. This is a messed up joke.
You still got 3 more. Come on, you got 3 more.
I knew where that was going.
Giselle's up there. Number 3, the GOAT. I don't know anybody.
Who's the GOAT?
Not Brittany Matthews. She's not in there. Tony Romo's wife.
Candace Romo, I think.
Candace Romo. She used to go to my high school to go watch her basketball games. Very nice woman. She brought brownies once. No, not like pop brownies. Like she just brought
that
brownies.
wasn't what we were inferring. Okay,
That-
who's the number one?
Number one?
Who's the
Number
Super Bowl
one?
champion of quarterback wives?
Quarterback wives.
Yo, I'm gonna save this for later.
Who's Vinny Testaverde's wife? I think that's number 1. He's the GOAT of
I don't think you can count that if you don't even know who the wife is.
Okay, on.
I mean, maybe
Are you
you
looking her
can.
up?
Yeah.
No, it's because I like her. She's cool. I like Vinny Testaverde, the GOAT.
Oh no.
Vinny, that's the
We
very.
are
The only
looking it
reason I
up.
like Vinny Testaverde is because
He said 2 though. Which one do you want?
Both.
Which one do you want?
I'm gonna go with Laura. Mitzi Testaverde. Yeah, Mitzi Testaverde. Look at that. Married in 1991. What is?
Whole bio coming right now.
Look at that. Mitzi is just doing whatever, man. That's top 5 wives right there.
The level of what in the world is going on.
I've ruined
in
this
Ryan's
podcast. I'm
brains
so
right
sorry,
now.
Ryan.
No,
I'm
man.
so sorry,
No,
Ryan.
the
I've ruined this
funny-
podcast.
Ryan secretly knows he's having fun. That's
No.
just what it is.
No,
Just
I mean,
like-
Ryan.
Because Ryan is like one of the most dope professional people I've met. He's an inspiration to me when I
Ryan
see him on air, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be on this podcast. I can't be stupid. I go on here. I'm like, Nicole Brown was pretty hot.
And then we go with the
I
top
feel so
5
bad.
quarterback wives.
no, Ryan knew what to. Ryan knew.
I'm
what to
so sorry,
expect.
Ryan. I
He
should
knew-
have taken
Why
my
are you
ADHD
pointing-
medication.
This should be on your reel. I'm just saying.
I'm
this
so sorry.
This definitely should go on it.
I'm the worst, Ryan.
Y'all
I
are being
apologize.
entertained
This is
right
Ryan's show. This is not mine.
I love that I can get this kind of reaction from y'all without even saying a word.
Well,
Just
no,
y'all
like-
are just.
Ryan,
Do
you
this
don't-
on Sports Zone.
Ryan, your
This basically was our. This was these 2 segments on Sports Zone. I had to facilitate this.
Ryan, hey,
The only
don't,
pr- the
don't
only-
say this like there wasn't facts
Matthew
being laid
Stafford,
down.
There
Your
was
wife
facts,
is
but I
free.
had to facilitate it because we only had a 6-minute segment.
Oh,
Here,
yeah.
here it's a little bit different
Here's
where I
a
can
little
just
bit
let
different.
y'all kind of go and make fools of yourselves while I sit here.
No. You
In pure shock. I mean, the face.
and Ryan
I
is
wish
just
I had
like,
water.
man, he's like,
like-
I didn't say a word. You don't have to. Your face says it all.
You're just like,
Okay.
Okay.
Back on track from
Back on
quarterback
sports.
wise.
yeah. No more wags. No more wags. Wives and girlfriends.
Okay, we're good. Everybody
You
deep
got
breath?
anything else?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm crying. here.
Everybody
Just wait till the wrestling starts, dude.
Deep
You're gonna
breath?
see.
Oh yeah, this
Oh,
is
he's
just.
Oh, I'm
leaving.
turning my mic off,
He's
and I'm just
turning
gonna
his mic off. He's
I'm gonna
letting-
like watch something on YouTube
he's
while y'all
letting
do
it
this because I
flow
don't. I'm
here.
not gonna.
All
do
right,
this.
but yeah, let's get back to it.
He's
Okay.
gonna finish a whole movie by the time we're done.
So Jimmy Garoppolo
Yes.
done. Yeah.
Yeah.
After that,
Yeah.
that was the way to end it. That was gonna get him kicked out. Now here's the deal. I don't think that Trey Lance is like the guy, right? Like I don't know that Trey Lance is that big of an upgrade where he wins you a Super Bowl in that situation or gets you to a Super Bowl as opposed to Garoppolo. Because I think Garoppolo actually played fine. He just has the habit of
Yeah.
turning the ball over at the worst possible time.
No, that's what we call Tony Romo syndrome.
True.
But keep going.
But I just don't think Trey Lance is that guy. And I think 49ers fans like very quickly go on the, man, I don't want Garoppolo, get him out of here. And then they're like all hyped up about Trey Lance when I'm like, okay.
I mean, but you know what?
It's just someone different from
But
Garoppolo.
give
True.
Trey Lance, because the few games that he did play, like he played pretty well. He
Right.
played better than Garoppolo. And again, a season under Garoppolo, although he sucks, is a pretty good season to have. Like you're learning. I think now he probably knows the offense pretty well. Again, Garoppolo, what a lot of people don't realize is he was Tom Brady's backup on a defense heavy team, right? And then you go over, and while this is a defense heavy team, your coach is an offensive genius, right? Mike Shanahan, he's a offensive genius, right? So now that you have Trey Lance, you kind of have this guy who's known the wide receivers, he knows the running backs, he's had a year of training, right? Garoppolo can't throw more than 10 yards, and this is an offense made for like throwing deep. Trey Lance can do that, you know what I'm saying? So I think give Trey Lance that chance, next season.
Oh, he's going to have that chance because it's his team next season.
Oh, yeah.
And if you want to, if you want insurance, sign Ryan Tannehill. If he does leave the Titans this offseason, and that's what a lot of people are rumoring is going to happen. Or, bomb for a year and see what you can get in the draft, and maybe trade Garoppolo over to like the Panthers. Although,
You want Cam Newton? I was about to
no,
say.
not Cam Newton.
No, the Panthers are just looking for anybody.
Not
that-
Cam Newton, but like you could get probably Robbie Anderson out of that. You can get like any other. wide receiver.
any rookie-
You could get like a good defensive player.
yeah.
You can get like a couple picks. Like Garoppolo has a little bit of weight to him. A lot of like NFL teams are stupid. NFL teams,
Wow.
they'll believe that anyone who was under Brady, anyone who was like went to Super Bowl, good. Joe Flacco got a job in the Broncos like in 2018 because of a Super Bowl appearance in 2013. So you got to remember, like NFL teams will do anything for a former Super Bowl quarterback because they're like, well, maybe he'll be different on our team, And it always results in the same way. And I think the perfect team to fall for that trick again is the Panthers.
He's not wrong. We saw what the Broncos did. Osweiler had a few good games. They paid him over $75 million.
Paid him $80 million.
$80 million to do what? So, but I think what it comes down to is Jimmy G's future as a 49er. It's over at this point. I think I agree with more than likely it would probably be somewhere like Carolina because they are desperate. I think when it comes down to Trey Lance, I'm just gonna start calling this the Kyler Murray effect in the sense of like we're just gonna put you out there and let's just see where this goes because that's what happened with Kyler. His first season was and then he's just gotten better and better and better and better and better. And I think what it comes down to is, when you give a quarterback that experience, because we never know. It may happen even with Trevor Lawrence. His rookie year, he sucks, and then he comes back out and he looks better because he's played in those games. So I just think that when it comes to Trey Lance, the 49ers fans are going to have to be patient and see what the kid can do, but I wouldn't rule him out just yet. I think we just have to see more of how he'll adapt
He's
throughout
just
the
a very
season.
raw prospect.
Yeah,
he's very raw. Like he came from an FCS school. Like
Yeah.
he's a very raw prospect, and I can see that anxiety of starting him, but I think the kid's got a good mindset. I mean, again, for a young quarterback, we didn't see him in any headlines. That's good. That's really good, right?
Yeah.
That means he has a mature mind on him. That means, and he was a first-round pick, right?
Yeah.
Heck, even, I hate to say this, but Bummy Rosen, right? I loved Bummy Rosen. But, like, he was, like, headlining every month with some stupid quote, and it was just hard to support him. Josh Allen, even in his first season, got, like, so much. Tua turned the ball over, dude. I mean, everyone was talking about Tua. I still to this day do not know why. He's mid. He's a left-handed quarterback. They don't last long in the league. But Trey, I've heard radio silence. I mean, you could hear a pin drop when it comes to his news. That's a good quarterback. Because according to Wayne, my man Lil Wayne, real G's move in silence like lasagna. Trey Lance is a real G.
There's one for the books.
There's another one.
You did this.
Hey, man.
All right.
Don't blame.
We're locked into Rams-Bengals for the Super Bowl. Lots of storylines. You have the two youngest combined head coaches in the NFL to play in the Super Bowl. You got Stafford versus Burrow, all that stuff. But we're going to limit it to 30 seconds, starting with Mason. Your pick, your look at it, and go.
I'm going with my pick, Cincinnati. Why? Well, besides I want them to. I think more so what we're going to get is, now don't get me wrong, that Rams defense is going to be after Joe Burrow. And Aaron Donald, my favorite defensive player, will probably get a handful of sacks in that game. But I think what will help Cincinnati is that they will be able to keep the Rams honest with their running attack and their passing offense. I think if you keep that defense honest, you have a better chance of winning the game.
Jeremiah.
I said it already before. I got the Rams still. I mean, they just are the more complete team. You do have Aaron Donalds with that offensive line. I do want Cincy to win, but you know what? I have a feeling that the Rams, this is their time, especially with all their acquisitions with Odell Beckham, Von Miller. You even got Jalen Ramsey in the back. I mean, this is going to be probably one of the bigger tests that Joe Burrow has had to face defensively, just trying to either read that elite offense because Joe Burrow is in technically we'll call him like his freshman year, but now he has to face some veteran players back there.
Jose?
I just hope both teams have fun, but
Shut up.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna
This
go.
isn't wreck.
I'm gonna go with the Rams. I think that Burrow is just not his time yet. It's not your time, little fella. You got to build some time. You got to learn heartbreak in the NFL. Not everything's a dream. And I think Matthew Stafford will be the best guy to just crush his dreams. I feel like Matthew Stafford is the type of guy to go up to a baby and take their lollipop. Because, no, I never got a lollipop as a kid. You don't get one, right? I feel like that's what he's going to do to Joe Burrow. I'm going to take the Rams winning this one. They're going to ram the Bengals.
Where do you get these analogies? Where are you getting Matt Stafford?
I can tell you, it's being a wrestling fan. I'm telling you.
I mean, it's just like it's gonna happen. Like Matthew Stafford, he's like 34, he never won a championship, and this little schmuck is gonna come in with he's 22. And he's gonna win a Super Bowl? No.
He's gonna
not on
summon
my
the powers of Detroit and Eminem and win.
He's gonna look like Andre Iguodala.
The power of Eminem in Detroit is on his side.
He's coming in like, oh, hi, I'm Joey. I'm a really big fan of yours,
He's gonna walk out to the 8 Mile song.
Gonna be like, give me a hell yeah, hit him with a stone cold stunner in the middle of the football
You
field.
can't. That's okay.
1, 2, 3. Book it, Vince. I'm saying it. Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow, WrestleMania right now. I want to see that.
At AT&T Stadium.
AT&T
There
Stadium.
you go.
I want to see that. I
This
paid,
April 3rd
I
and
paid
4th.
$400 for these WrestleMania tickets. I better see Joe Burrow on that field getting stone cold stunnered by Matthew Stafford. And Matthew Stafford from Dallas, by the way, raising up the beers, giving us a hell yeah Super Bowl victory.
You do know
and a WrestleMania
Matthew Stafford
victory.
is not Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Hey,
right?
man, he's a Texas rattlesnake.
I see Ryan, and we're not sponsored by anybody, but folks, Cryomax. It's something you roll on your head when you have a massive headache. Ryan is going to take some of that home when he's going to buy some and rub it all over his head after this.
Not just his head, his body, dude. I got some aches, man.
Pour it all in the bathtub. And
Yeah.
dive. So we got
Just gonna submerge himself. Just
2 Rams, 1 Bengal.
Yep.
I'm going to also go Bengals, even it up. A, because I picked them to go to the Super Bowl way
Pretty
back
much.
when. And B, because I think they play their best when everybody's against them.
Yeah,
Like, nobody
that's
picked
true.
them against the Titans. Nobody picked them against the Chiefs. And they come out every single time against a team that's, quote-unquote, better than they are, and they just will themselves into it.
Oh, my God.
And I like
Oh
Joey
my
B's
God.
confidence.
This is a 2007 Giants run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly
Oh,
right.
no.
Yeah. So we're split down the middle here, 2-2. Rams, Bengals. Oh, it's gonna be a fun game. I like Super Bowl.
I like
Ryan, you just don't know what to say.
Y'all have lost me here. This is
I'm just saying,
This
this
has been
halftime
something else.
show better not be boring.
I-
They have
nah.
all these people, and
It
they're
won't
they
be.
better not be like bleeping every single word,
I just
man.
can't wait till Kendrick Lamar comes out and starts singing Blacker the Berry. You know, we have to sit there and analyze the Super Bowl performance. Like, yeah, you really understand, like the concept of Blacker the. I mean, like, why Kendrick Lamar of all artists? I'm sorry.
Maybe
I
he's
love-
dropping, man.
I
Maybe
love-
he's
I
dropping
love
for the Super
Kendrick.
Bowl.
I love Kendrick. I don't think his music will hype me up at a Super Bowl. I think they're gonna play Family Ties and that's it. He's gonna come in like beat him up, and he's like, sure, we'll get on top 5, and like that's it. That's all we're gonna get from Kendrick Lamar. We're not gonna get King Kunta. We're not gonna get Backseat Freestyle. I wish we got Backseat Freestyle. I'm gonna go on a rant about Kendrick Lamar. On the Super Bowl. Jay-Z, really? Eminem and Kendrick Lamar? Like, they can have like
All
old
right.
heads have a
Just
field
go with
day.
it.
That's
Ryan.
gonna do it for NFL
I can't
talk
wait
and
till-
Kendrick Lamar talk.
That's the GOAT right there. You got him performing Super Bowl. What is he gonna perform? People that are gonna be sleeping as he's talking about like.
Don't go anywhere because Jose's gonna rant, but we're gonna come back for the NBA here in just a little bit. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the main event. Ryan Baldwin, as always, joined by Mason Shepard and special guest this week. Special guest.
Oh, look at it.
Jeremiah Russo and Jose Moreno.
Hey, man, we're here to bring some flavor to this.
Oh,
It's a certain kind of
In
flavor
the
that's
words
being
of Booker
brought
T,
here.
This has got more flavor than a Mexican hot plate. Let's move on.
This is a slobber knocker.
Moving on to the NBA, not much has changed, at least standings-wise, since we looked at it last week, Mason. But we did get the news of the NBA All-Star starters and the initial release of the NBA MVPs.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and take a look at our All-Star starters. Captains starting with the West. Team LeBron James.
Of course.
Shocker.
Honestly.
I can't believe it.
With-
LeBron James.
Nikola Jokic, Andrew Wiggins, Stephen Curry, and Ja Morant.
What? Wiggins?
Yeah.
Are we
Hold on,
serious?
hold on. We'll get there. Hold on.
Wow.
I actually, it's really interesting what happened. That's how he got to it, you know?
Let him finish. Let him finish.
The East team Kevin Durant,
Yeah.
Which he's not even playing.
which he's not playing,
Of course.
but I guess he's captain. Giannis Antetokounmpo,
Yep.
Joel Embiid, Trey
Yep.
Young, and DeMar DeRozan.
Everybody doubted on him, man. When he came to Chicago, they said he was gonna blow it, and look at him now.
Now, do we want to start West or East?
Don't
Because
care.
I've got bones to pick on both.
I mean, hey, I think we just start with the West and go from there.
All right. So my point ties into both the East and the West.
Yes.
But it's time to get rid of front court, back court, and just pick the 5 best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
I
that's the
agree.
only reason Andrew Wiggins got in is because he's front court, and I still think there's better front court players than Andrew
Oh,
Wiggins.
you don't even need to
I
play real
just-
positions.
Yeah,
thing
there's
it's
no
just
position.
go out
Yeah.
there and play 5-on-5.
Here's the thing, though. It's like, I feel like, and this is something we don't talk about. We as fans, we vote people in as a joke. I'm pretty sure Andrew
Sometimes.
Wiggins.
Yeah. Who was
like Alex
who was the
Caruso last time.
MLB player that got in that played like one game or something like that he had like terrible stats and the fans all voted him in and he made it even
Yeah.
though he
I
had
know
like
in
no
the
same
business
with
being there.
NHL.
In the NHL, it was no.
I remember
Oh yeah,
that
it was the
happened.
yeah.
My
You know what I'm
hockey
talking
friend.
about?
Yes, yes.
John Scott.
It was the guy
Scott,
who yeah,
John
he
Scott.
played like mostly minor league, got called up for like 2 games and,
And,
they're
and
like,
everybody,
oh, yeah.
everybody in the NHL was like, "Why is he playing with us? He's
Yeah.
He's not even in the NHL."
Remember when Derrick Rose a couple years back was number 3 for voting?
Yeah.
And he didn't get in because the NBA is evil. Well,
and it's a front
Because
court
they
back court
always
thing.
they
If he's-
always
yeah.
do the fan vote, and then
Yeah.
the NBA actually votes, and then
Yeah.
they never
they
like
never keep the fan
Exactly.
vote.
No.
So, yeah.
it totally
Here's
screws
the problem with that, right? So Wiggins, I feel like, because he's been playing like, okay,
Was
like
it shooting?
30
Oh,
minutes,
he's small.
18 points on 40%.
But
Is
you're gonna
that
put him
really
in front of Karl Anthony Towns for the front court?
like again? Warriors fans, they probably thought it'd be funny to vote him in, and because the NBA is stupid, they'll be like, oh, you know what? These guys are very marketable to the Chinese audience. Yeah, let's put
He's not
Andrew
Jeremy
Wiggins
Lin,
in,
but
right?
okay.
No, you'd be very surprised with how big Golden State is in China. Golden State is a huge team in China. So, like, again, they're going to want as much Golden State players. I think that's also why they didn't really care when Kevin Durant went to the Warriors, was because, this is a big team in China. That's why Houston gets a lot of, leverage over a lot of teams, because Houston's the biggest team in China. And China's, again, number one. And the NBA is, the NBA is a lot of things, and Shady is one of those, how they treat the Chinese audience.
But here's the thing, right? Like LeBron is voted as a front court player, right?
Yes.
But he basically runs the point
Yep.
when he's on the floor,
Yes.
Yep.
and he guards mostly power forward center, but he also touches the ball like a point guard or a shooting
Yeah,
guard.
that's the GOAT.
So
He's the
yeah,
king.
but that's fine. But that's an example. Like all the good players are doing that now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Luka is a shooting guard, quote unquote.
Oh, he's not a starter?
No, he's not a starter.
Shocker. Andrew
No,
Wiggins.
he's been. Well, that's part of the thing. Like I would put Luka over. If you're doing just the top 5 in the West,
Yeah.
I would put Luka over Wiggins. But
Wiggins,
because we
yeah.
have a front court, back court deal, that messes everything up. Same
Yeah.
thing. And then DeMar DeRozan in the East is listed as a shooting guard. But if you look at how the Bulls
No, he's a
play,
small forward.
Yeah,
he
he's
plays
a
small
small
forward.
Yeah,
but
easily.
he got voted in as back court.
Even in 2K, he's a small forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but-
Love how we're gonna judge it off of 2K, whatever
Well,
their
no,
position is.
I'm going to say, 2K's kind of a good,
But in
He
terms
is.
of,
No,
like-
he's a small forward, power forward.
If you're gonna
Yeah.
call it shooting guard, then theoretically Zach LaVine should have gone in over DeRozan because
And
he was
that's-
an actual guard as
He'll
opposed
still
to
be
you
in
know
there.
what?
He'll
Then
still be
and
there.
you know what? You shouldn't
Yeah.
either have Kevin Durant there because he's injured, isn't he?
yeah, so they're
So
probably
it's like, you know what? Then, why don't
Levine
you...
may. What
Well,
is-
this has Kevin Durant listed as a power forward.
they'll probably throws. Okay,
I mean,
then.
that guy's 7 foot
but
tall.
again, it's like
Yeah.
so it's time, in my opinion, to throw away front court, back court, and just do the best 5 are your starters,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the top 5 vote getters. And who cares if it's 5 guards against 4 centers?
yeah,
It's the All-Star
you're
game.
not playing a real
Nobody's
game.
playing
You're like
legit.
lobbing. to
Nobody
people.
plays defense anyway. Yeah.
No.
No,
So
yeah.
who cares if it's 5 guards versus 5 centers or something like that?
How's-
Just pick the best 5 on each team. Or on from each
I've been kind of disconnected from the NBA. How are the Clippers? Kawhi, is he injured? Like
He's
how...
been out, with an ACL.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
He's been recovering from a torn ACL.
Again, this season I kind of tuned out. I've just been
Yeah.
kind of bored by basketball,
And
so like I haven't really.
The
been
only
able to-
thing
Paul
good-
George can't carry a team by
The
himself.
only thing
so.
good about
No.
All-Star Weekend is the NBA is me watching the celebrities try for
This-
their
yeah.
life.
The-
No,
That
yeah.
is the fun. I think it's better than the actual All-Star game just to see like Quavo launching threes, and
I
I'm like,
I like seeing the Rising Stars game because they seem to actually like try a little bit more.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
because they want to make
You
they wanna
gotta
get
make-
you
attention.
gotta- yeah.
Exactly.
But like the All Star game is like iconic. Like
All-
the All Star game is iconic. Like again, even when I don't watch basketball some years, I still go out of my
Watch the
way
All-
to watch the
All-Star
All Star
Weekend,
game
yeah.
because All Star Weekend is just it's fun to watch. It's the only time my dad watches basketball. He hates basketball. The only time he watches is when the All Star games are around.
I mean, I just think one thing about it is like All-Star Weekend. I remember growing up in the 2000s, at any time, but like what was huge for me, especially we were talking about All-Star Weekend, was the dunk contest. That was my
Yeah.
favorite event. And now 3-point contest has turned into the better one. I was always kind of
Yeah.
bored by that,
It's
but
'cause
now
There's no good dunker now.
no, not anymore.
Well, and there's only so much you can do,
yeah,
right?
because everything's
these
already
dunk
been.
contests are rigged, man. I swear to God, like
they've-
Aaron
they've already
Gordon and
been
Zach
done.
Levine,
That was
Well,
the
like-
best dunk contest
and then
modern era
they got
wise.
snubbed.
There's only so much you can do.
Yeah,
And it's like eventually you've reached a point where you're
Where
like,
no one
I've
can
done
do
like
anything else.
you've hit the limit of
Blake Griffin
human
jumping over a car. man.
ability.
That
Yeah.
was the
Yeah,
time.
but-
like you can't jump over 2 cars.
But
Yeah.
there's
Like we're
always,
Yeah,
just
it's not even
But that's the
possible.
thing. That's the unpredictability I like. You go like, okay, that's it. I'm out, and they pull you right back in with a dope dunk.
That's what Levine did,
That's
man.
the whole point. Every now and then
That's-
there's one guy in that contest that I go, wow, that's a star right there, right?
That's why Levine
Donovan
and
Mitchell
Gordon
made
was-
his name in that dunk contest.
That's
when
why
he was in
Levine
it.
and Gordon was like the best, really dunk contest rivalry because it's like you said, you saw these guys who were like, okay, everything's already
That
been
gave
done.
them their name. No one knew who
No,
Aaron
no,
Gordon was
exactly.
and Zach
It's the same
Levine
thing with
was
Blake
until
Griffin.
that. Yeah,
Exactly.
No, Blake Griffin.
It was
There's a whole thing about that. Actually, that one was rigged. That one was actually proven to be rigged
Yeah.
because Blake Griffin was a rookie that year, and
Yep.
they wanted to. The NBA loved his marketability, so they were like, you know what? Let's put you in a dunk contest and let's put you in the All-Star game, and maybe you'll make us enough money that we won't need LeBron anymore. So it's like that
And
worked
here
out.
we are.
And here we are.
Here
now.
we are.
Here we are.
For the dunk contest so far, we only have one confirmed participant, and that's Cole Anthony from the Orlando Magic. And yeah, I would like to see Ja. I think Ja Morant
Ja
would
Morant
be good.
should
Dude, the
Morant.
greatest
Yeah.
almost dunker of all time. He almost gets
Yeah,
there.
I just think the thing is people see that as nothing more than like a sideshow. There's like I don't
I
really
feel
want
like
to do it.
if I was John Moran, I wouldn't because
No,
that's
it-
high injury. Like high
That's what I'm
injury.
saying.
Like,
If LeBron James can be like, and I would have loved to see LeBron in one, especially when he was younger. But if he's going, no, then everybody else is like, no, I'm not doing it.
no, you know what they should do?
What?
They should just get like people from like the internet and like celebrity dunkers, like those people that go do those crazy dunks, like
He's
and
got a
just-
point.
and
That
just,
would be
like,
a lot better.
put them up against like an NBA player, right? Like let's compare this guy, cause like again, like make the dunk contest more than just these players that and like last few years, there's always that one guy who just goes out there and he does like a 2-hand dunk or he does like a simple whirl spin and he thinks he's like the coolest guy ever. There's some people that just like do the most lame dunks, right? Replace those guys with like I don't know, the professor.
Yeah,
like, someone
I agree with
interesting.
you.
Like
I think the NBA should have taken the initiative when they saw that more like top stars who weren't like a Dwight Howard or a Nate Robinson who wanted to be, or Vince Carter who wanted to be in these. They should have taken the initiative to be like, you know what, players don't want to be in this because there's high injury. How about we get like celebrity crazy dunkers? Because then it would still be
Let's
the
risk
NBA.
their lives
it would be
instead.
it would be it would be the NBA dunk contest. But you would have these people, and again, it's All-Star Weekend. It's not
And,
something
like,
to be
have it
taken
be, like,
seriously. Exactly.
yeah, have it be like a big yearly like
Yes,
like
exactly.
hey, here we have like hey, upload your video of your dunk and maybe you'll get picked for
Yeah, we
this.
get-
Like
exactly.
that would honestly
That would be better.
bring in so much more eyes because it's been kind of stagnant and it's not the dunk contest's fault. It's not
Ryan
the
feels
people's
like
fault. It's
Jimmy
just the
Fallon
NBA
whenever they curse
doesn't know
on
who
the
to
late night
pick
show.
for it.
Yeah.
They don't know who to pick for it at all. Like they don't know who to get for that show, and it always turns out to be like, really, Donovan Mitchell? It's like, really, him?
Yeah. The other news that came out last week for the NBA was the initial MVP race rankings. And we'll just go 5 through 1 and get your thoughts on it. Number 5, DeMar DeRozan.
Oh
The Chicago Bulls.
Should be higher.
Wow.
Number
Mhm.
4, Chris Paul with the Phoenix Suns.
Uh-huh.
I haven't heard a lot from him this year. Actually,
Really?
I've heard
I
last
mean,
year I did, but this year nothing.
Really, like Chris Paul?
Number 3,
Point guard.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Bucks.
And he's gonna win it again.
Number 2, Joel Embiid.
Yes.
Yeah.
And number 1, Nikola Jokic.
Ah.
Denver
No.
Nuggets. No, bro. Okay, hold on.
All right, Ryan. Now
As-
Ryan getting hyped.
As the lead
Ah.
Jokic,
Give it to Joel.
promoter,
Yeah, huh?
he has better stats this year than when he won last year.
That's
But
fair.
it's the NBA.
I know, so he's not
So
gonna.
LeBron's
so
gonna
he's not-
somehow win this.
No, he's down at number 10.
Yeah,
So-
It's good. You're
LeBron is
gonna
not.
be
unless
surprised.
the Lakers move up to number 1, he ain't winning it.
Look, it's LeBron. I don't think he needs
So,
another MVP. It
But
doesn't
Nikola Jokic has better stats
Yeah.
this year than last year.
But,
He's
like,
already going to eclipse the total number of triple doubles
He's on,
and double
like,
doubles that he made
he's
last
on
year.
one of the best teams. Like, look at Joel. Who does he have? That guy.
the GOAT Ben
like
Simmons.
that guy is
The GOAT
basically
Ben Simmons,
when
ladies
you
and
when I
gentlemen.
when I hear most
Shanghai Rockets or
valuable
Shanghai
player,
Sharks.
you take that player out that lineup. That's it. They're losing, right?
Well,
you
he-
take Nikola Jokic out, they're still gonna win games. That Nuggets team is stacked. That Nuggets team is great.
Embiid
You-
missed 11, and they were still third in the East or second in the East. So,
Really? Okay. But still, the 52 per point performance in like 29 minutes.
there's a reason he's number.
Nikola Jokic was the most boring basketball on the planet. I'm sorry. I want
Damn.
someone with
In,
flair.
in Ryan's
someone
terms,
who's
boring
marketable.
but effective.
Yeah.
Someone who's like actually like him winning again would be like it's like when Steve Nash won it twice. Like great player, he deserved it. But over Kobe Bryant in 07, like really over Dwayne Wade, like over like so many way better seasons, like performance that season. It's like if Nikola wins, it just means the NBA is just like, yeah.
Actually looking at stats and their contribution to a team instead of flair.
But like
We can
you
do.
know, the
You want to make the
MVP
MFPP with the most flair possible player?
not the most player possible. It's just like if you give it to
Sometimes
Nikola
in defense,
Jokic, that's like
sometimes
saying,
stats do not represent the player.
yeah, it's like I like Nikola Jokic. I hope he plays well, but it's
Director's
just like
cut.
I'm also very anti the same guy winning MVP twice in a row. I like there to be like some new guy winning every year, and I think Joel Embiid is just proving it now. He has everything to prove now, and I just feel for him. I want him to just finally. Like, oh my God, I'm watching the news right now. It's crazy. There's a guy just shooting a gun. I'm sorry, like I got distracted. But Joel
I think we
Embiid,
need a timer on you to give.
I know I do. You guys can talk now. I'm sorry. I'm going
No,
on too
we're
much. I'm
good.
just a Joel Embiid like
I
fanboy.
am surprised that he's up for it again. But yeah, what do you got, Mason?
Well, besides the fact that I got that my co-host is gonna kill me for this, I here's my thing. I think when it comes down to MVP, I think that regardless of how boring, Jokic is, I think the way I always evaluate MVP is like who's the most effective. I know that's
that's a
kind
good
of
point,
obvious,
yeah.
but who's the most effective? Who is the guy that? I mean, it's kind of like what you said, but it's like it supports more Ryan's argument than yours in the sense of you take this guy off the floor, and yeah, the Nuggets have people who can make up for that.
Yeah, they do.
But-
They have one of the best benches in the
Yeah,
league.
exactly,
They have
exactly.
one of the best starting fives. A great coach. I mean, look at Joel Embiid. Doc Rivers is kind of like the Jose Mourinho of basketball coaches. He had a great period in the 2000s, but he hasn't proven like that he's still great. Like he chokes a lot, right? Joel Embiid is also dealing with the BS that is Ben Simmons. He's dealing with everything going on right now in Philly, and look at that, Ronda Rousey on the news.
that is
But
cool.
I'm sorry, we have a little TV with the news on. I'm like watching it, but you look at Joel Embiid and you see how much he's going against. And Nikola Jokic, I'm not saying that he's like he has it easier, but he kind of has things more on a silver plate for him. He has a way better team around him. He has a way a more how you say functional like home life kind of in a way. Like Joel Embiid right now is like his team is like he's at a foster home full of like kids with issues, right?
With that argument,
then-
you can
and-
say
and
AD
then
is
Nikola
MVP
Jokic-
with the Lakers right now,
Hey,
even though he's
hey,
injured.
you know what? I want a Lakers player to win the MVP. That team also sucks. They have,
Maybe the
Russell
worst
Westbrook.
valuable player, the worst
no,
player.
LeBron James.
Oh.
You take LeBron.
Westbrook
You know
would
what,
win
though?
that one easy.
If we're doing that argument, if you take LeBron off the Lakers, they're going 10-72. I think,
No, if you take AD off that, and he's right now injured, they are like that.
nah, LeBron.
Yeah.
nah.
Because they had him the whole season,
No,
and then the
dude.
minute he gets out of the
I'm a
playoffs,
I'm a-
instant choke to the sun.
I'm a LeBron fanboy. I love
Sorry,
LeBron
man.
James. I think honestly,
boy.
He
Y'all
has
gonna
been.
make me edit this for an hour.
They have taken
Yeah.
away his MVP trophies too much. Just give it to him. Just give it to him.
I'm
Please.
just saying.
I think that'd
I
be
would
the
watch
greatest thing.
this. If I'm hearing like just this raw cut, I would watch this.
I know people would watch. It's
People
just
would
like
watch this.
when your school sponsor.
I can't put this on the KNTU website. Is the
Well,
problem?
now,
you gotta
now
make-
Spotify will be there with
Yeah.
the cornets.
You can't
and we'll
put
be able
like
to say all this
parental
crap.
advisory on the bottom.
Not
kid.
on KNTU.
You,
No, it's a
pal.
reflection of the school. I can't
to
see
you, the leading.
This is brought to you by
Ryan, do you want to
KNTU.
move to Mount Rushmore
Yes,
now?
let's take a break so I can gather my
Jose
thoughts
has-
and my sanity, and
Jose has
We
yet
might
again
be
ruined
down
another
a,
segment.
My
an
thoughts and my
analyst.
sanity.
we'll see what happens.
see
Maybe
what
Jose will be here on the other side. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the main event. Ryan Baldwin, joined as always by Mason Shepard and
Yo.
our specialist of special guests, Jose Moreno and Jeremiah Russo.
Yurt.
Time for one of Mason and I's favorite segments that we've been doing for pretty much the past 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah,
The Mount Rushmore of players and positions.
yeah.
Last week we did linebackers.
Yes, sir.
This week, defensive backs, because there's just really not enough corners and
Yeah,
safeties to...
it's if you try to split hairs, it's a lot.
I went first last week.
Yeah,
Do you
I'm
want to go
going-
first?
okay,
Should
so-
we just tell the guests and people listening that we already know one person that we came up
we're
with?
both gonna have Troy Polamalu
Yes.
on our
And I bet we have another
DBs
one
list.
too.
We
but-
probably will, more than likely.
So-
We probably have all the same kind of. But yeah, Troy Polamalu for sure. You can't watch a Steelers game without really, wondering where the hair is and being like, well, where's Troy Polamalu going to show up? When he wasn't retired, obviously. But, when you talk about, and to me, in my opinion, and this isn't to make a joke, this is serious, Troy Polamalu really set a standard for Polynesian players, because in my opinion, when I would watch Troy Polamalu, when he would just knock somebody smooth, out with, his physicality, that carried over to, the Polynesian players at USC or Notre Dame, whether they had an invisible girlfriend or not. But it was one of those things where his style of play carried over, and he was one of the defining symbols of toughness. You could ask anybody in Pittsburgh, and they will tell you that Troy Polamalu's presence was kind of like what they wanted as the envisionment of Pittsburgh and the Steelers itself. A raw, tough team who's going to hit you in the mouth and win football games, and that's what they did with him. And I've always been a huge Polamalu fan.
Yeah, he and Ed Reed really put the strong in the strong safety. They were.
He's on your list too, isn't he?
Who, Ed Reed?
Yeah, because he's on mine. Because
it was
it's
tough.
I won't go too long in Ed Reed's explanation, only because it's the same reason as Troy Polamalu's. They were guys who were very strong safeties. Emphasis, like you said, on the word strong. They were very strong safeties, and they really made their teams fierce, especially because, even though they may not be like, a Sherman in the sense of they're going to follow the ball and try to pick it off, your receivers wouldn't want to catch those balls near them because they would be liable to get hurt. And I just think, those two really transform what it meant to be like a strong safety. Another person on my list that I know is on yours, at least he has to be, Dion.
Prime time, baby. Coach
Prime
prime time now
Yeah, well, he's doing a very good job.
on his scooter at Jackson State.
Yeah,
Grayson Thompson plays there.
Oh, good for Grace.
Backup quarterback. He's the only white guy on that team.
Okay.
that's
It's
great.
an HBCU.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's an
It makes
HBCU.
sense.
Okay.
I think with Dion, we saw, and I wish Diggs would take some notes. I think we saw someone who had the athleticism. I mean, he played football and baseball, so he was an athlete to every sense of the word. But the difference was Dion wasn't just athleticism. He was very much a lockdown corner, in my opinion, and he knew how to blend the two very well. And nobody wanted to throw where primetime was. And plus, he was so versatile, like he is in real life. Being an athlete now, being a coach, you could have him be a corner, you could have him be a safety, you could have him return punts and kickoffs. He was just that dynamic. And I think you can't have a best DB list or a Mount Rushmore without having primetime on it.
Agreed. Yeah.
The last one was a little hard because, I mean, when you start looking at corners and safeties, you could throw out Earl Thomas, Champ Bailey. But and my dad actually disagreed with me on this. But I wanted to go 2 safeties, 2 corners. So I'm going to go. My other corner would be Darrelle Revis. Revis Island didn't become a thing just because it was fun to say. Revis Island was a place where people lived, stayed, and couldn't get off of until he got older. I just think that Darrelle Revis, as he's gotten old, when he got older, people were starting to doubt his skills, and he still had a very decent career as he had gotten older, and more people would blow past him. But I think when you look at Darrelle Revis, you saw someone who, again, nobody wanted to throw in this guy's direction, and he was a hard hitter too. But you also knew he's got the hands to where he would take this ball from this guy, and we're never going to be able to get it back. So, Palomalu, Ed Reed, primetime, Darrelle Revis.
All right. That's a good list.
Yeah.
I like the list. And as you know, on my list,
people who changed the game.
People who changed the game. And I'm not going to lie, this was actually the hardest one I've had to do.
I figured it would be.
Because defensive backs for a long time, they had kind of the same goal, which was just cover receivers. And the safeties could kind of cover receivers in space and make tackles in the open field.
Mm-hmm.
But Troy and Dion, of course.
Yes.
I agree with you. Troy 100% was the strong safety. And boy, if you're doing a little dig route over the middle, you better be looking out for number 43. Yeah. And Dion brought the flair to it, right? Like the Jalen Ramseys of the world don't exist without Dion coming
Sanders,
first and getting that ego in there.
I'm going to say it. If it wasn't for Deion Sanders, I don't think the modern flair like athlete would not exist. Not even just Jalen Ramsey. I'm thinking Mike Tyson. I'm thinking I
think Tyson was before.
No, Tyson was roughly around the same time as Deion. But his early matches, he was a very quiet guy. Once Deion Sanders kind of got famous for being arrogant, you saw some more arrogance come out of Mike. Not only that, Floyd Mayweather, Cristiano Ronaldo, a lot of players take a big influence from Deion Sanders. That guy is more than just a football player. That guy's an icon.
That is very true.
You go to Dallas and you say Deion, and you'll meet a lot of Deions who were all born in 1992.
Fair.
Yeah. You go to Atlanta, you see a lot of Deons as well. Deion Sanders, there's a reason people care about Jackson State now. Not because they're one of the greatest HBCU schools of all time in football, because they have freaking prime time. That's all everyone talks about. No one cares about the players under even my inner source, Grayson Thompson, has said that, it kind of sucks being a player there sometimes because all the cameras everywhere are just on primetime and not on the players. So in a way, this guy's huge. That's...
Yeah, I think
he's the face. He should be your George Washington, know?
Yeah, well, and I think that was, something you said that was very true. I don't think we have anybody that's flashy and confident in the sense of, I know I'm this good. I'm prime time.
Richard Sherman.
That's what I'm saying. You guys are not at my level unless you don't have Deion
or Crabtree.
I would, but even before him, it was,
there have been definitely.
Muhammad Ali had that.
That's what I was thinking when he brought up Mike Tyson. I was like, that was
Muhammad Ali.
But
still, I wouldn't.
But Ali was he talked smack.
He knew he was the best. He was going to tell you he was the best.
Jackets.
That's
he
true.
wasn't calling himself.
There was the flair to it.
There was more than just that. Deion was a peacock. Deion was the Dennis Rodman before Dennis Rodman.
True.
And Dennis Rodman wishes he could be Deion because Deion is way cooler than Dennis Rodman's cornball self ever will be. I'm sorry, Dennis Rodman's cringe to me. But continue. I'm sorry, I'm kind of interrupting. Y'all continue.
So doing my research, as I always do.
Of course.
I did find a couple of players that kind of revolutionized the play. Because one guy got a rule named after him.
Really?
Yes, Mel Blount.
Oh!
1970s cornerback for the Steelers. And because of him, that is the rule, because of his style of play is the rule in effect that you cannot contact a receiver past 5 yards.
That's crazy.
That is the Mel Blount rule because his play style was he was 6'3" and could run a 4.5, and you weren't going to get away, and he'd bump you at the line. He'd bump you 2 yards off the line, 5 yards, 10 yards. They would do everything but buy furniture together.
Yeah.
Straight up. He was going to get in your face, and then they eventually were like, can't do that. Can't do that. And then after that rule came in play, he still made 3 Pro Bowls.
So do y'all put Malcolm Butler in y'all's he's got the greatest interception of all time. I'm messing with you.
That's debatable.
That is the greatest interception of all time, though. What? To this day, we're still talking about that Super Bowl. You go to any top 10 mess ups of all time, number one will always be the Seahawks should have ran the ball instead of throwing it. Malcolm Butler will be known as for one thing, and I can't wait in 10 years when he gets commercials, and they're just going to reference that, and we're going to feel old.
Kind of like Dez has only one thing he's known for now, and that's the catch that he didn't catch. And now his,
DoorDash
now his,
commercial.
no, but now his
He's
Uber
like,
Eats
"I caught
commercial is like, I caught it.
I caught it.
Caught it. Everybody saw it.
Everybody saw it. I caught it.
Man.
Can't challenge that one.
Can you believe he has the most receiving touchdowns in Cowboys history?
Yeah.
He's technically, statistically, like Tony Romo, the best wide receiver in Cowboys history.
Yeah.
Better than Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane to you? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And then Tony Romo statistically is on par with Tom Brady. So that's, when you say Tony Romo syndrome, hey, Tony was a stats god.
I will knock Tony Romo till my knees knock together and I'm 80. Not a fan. Never will be.
That's a lot of knocking.
Yep.
All right. And then so number 4. So after that 5-yard contact rule was implemented, the cornerback position started to change.
Yeah.
And so before Dion,
Yeah.
the first true lockdown corner,
Yeah.
Mike Haynes
Mike Haynes.
for the Raiders. And he went to the Raiders in 83,
Yep.
had 2 all-pro seasons, and he was that first player that would just cover you with his speed and size, and was that prototype for every lockdown corner, the Darrelle Revis, the Jalen Ramsey, all these guys, the primetime, all these guys that came afterwards.
Yeah.
He was the first one that was kind of the big deal.
Yeah.
Like he and who was the guy on the other side? I don't remember. There was another that was the first time you saw like 2 corners, and you were just like, you were trapped. You had 2 corners on good side. They were both lockdown corners, and it just ruined your passing game. So the evolution of the lockdown corner started with Mike Haynes, and before that, Mel Blount decided he was gonna he had to get a rule change for him. And then of course we got to do Dion and Troy Polamalu.
Troy, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a good list.
So what are we doing next week?
Kickers?
I really hope that's a joke.
Should we?
Just
We haven't done.
Gostkowski,
are we going-
Vinatieri.
We gonna go back offense and do tight ends? We haven't done tight ends.
Yeah, I
yet.
guess we can do tight ends.
I'm
Yeah,
down
I'm
with
sure we'll
that.
find
Yeah,
tight
yeah.
ends. All right.
You
All right.
That's great.
He's about to go snort some wrestling in a second. Refill.
Thank you so much for listening to the main event. Big thanks to Jeremiah Russo and Jose Moreno for
Thank you
being
for having me here.
our specialist
It'll
of
probably
all
be our last
special
time
guests.
because Ryan's gonna kill us.
We'll see. Just if they never show up again, there's no actual proof. So
If my mother doesn't see me after this, Mom, I love you so much. Gracias
I think
por
you
todo,
got
gracias por
cut his
amarme.
mic off. Cut his mic. Cut his mic.
big
I'll
thanks
be home
to
soon, Mom.
big thanks to Dan Bala, Mark Lambert, and everybody at KNTU for letting us broadcast out of the Green Studio deep in the heart of Denton. Stay tuned for next week's episode
Yep.
when we're talking about I don't even know what, but
Yeah.
it probably won't be as loud.
No, it won't.
Y'all have a great night.
I love you, Vinny Testaverde.